Just want to have a quick conversation with my good friend, Congressman Wesley Hunt, who is running to be our next senator from Texas to replace current Senator John Cornyn. And I am fully supporting and endorsing my man, Congressman Wesley Hunt, for this role. But in addition to that, I just want you to learn a little bit about him, who he is, and why you need to vote for him. Of course, you guys know I'm going to tell you more, but I want to kind of have him start with why it's important to vote your biblical values.
It's important to vote your biblical values because if you're looking at the assault that's happening upon Christians, not just in our country, but in the entire world, if we stand by and do nothing, and if we stand by and are silent, especially as political leaders, then we're going to lose this great country. We're going to lose the thing that makes us special. This is the place that literally God shed his grace on thee. This is America. This is the greatest experiment that's ever existed, and it was founded on Christian values at the end of the day. And so it takes leaders that are willing to be demonstrative about that are willing to be fearless about that. And that's kind of who I am as a human being. I'm a West Point graduate. I flew 55 combat air missions in Baghdad in an Apache helicopter, which means that I am somebody that understands what it means to be under duress and under fire, but to stand into the breach and still do the right thing because it's the oath that I gave to the people on the ground, it's the oath that I gave to my country. I'm continuing to do this task because I believe that the fight's not over yet, and service still continues. And as somebody with that kind of background, brother, sister, and I all went to West Point. Dad's a retired lieutenant colonel in the military. It is that kind of structure, those conservative values that were instilled in me that's going to get this country on the right track and get us successful for the future. But if we stand by on the sidelines and do nothing, then we're going to lose her.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. And, you know, with what you're doing, a big reason why we want to replace Cornyn here in Texas is because of his support of red flag laws. Where are you on that? I know, but I want them to know.
You know, it's really interesting. You know, as a military guy, West Point grad, you know, this is what happens when you spend too much time up in D.C. and you actually forget about what the people of Texas really want. How do you pass gun control legislation and red flag laws in Texas? Of all states,
Right.
Texas. Now, I got a beautiful wife and 3 babies at home. I have an AR-15 for each one of them. If somebody wants to come in my house, we're going to have a problem.
Yes.
And I got some treats for you. But that's the reason why our Second Amendment rights shall not be infringed, is to be able to protect ourselves, our family, and most importantly, protect ourselves against tyrannical governments. That's what makes America a very special place. John Cornyn got to D.C. for 20 years and forgot what exactly that meant, and that's why he didn't co-sponsor. He co-authored gun control legislation with Colin Allred and was praised for it by Joe Biden in the Rose Garden. That's a cardinal sin. And the reason why that I am here right now, literally, is because of that one piece of legislation. I am a strong believer in the Second Amendment, and that right shall not be infringed.
And I don't want it infringed.
I can tell you don't. You're in service today. You believe in the Second Amendment.
Yes. Well, and then in addition to that, one of my big things is this. I've talked to John about this before because I'm a big proponent of the Article 5 convention states that we're going after, the reigning executive overreach and term limits, which I know you believe in.
Big fan.
And the fact that we can have a balanced budget coming out of D.C. Those are the 3 points that we've been advocating for. And we've literally have now 20 states on board to have an Article 5 convention of the 34 states that we need, and then we'll get the 38 to ratify. Right. What do you think about an Article 5?
Well, at the end of the day, you know, we used to always balance a budget. And it's exactly, 24 years ago, when John Cornyn first took office, our national debt was about $200 billion. And now it's $38.7 trillion. We're in a $2 trillion annual deficit. That's absolute insanity. Right. We cannot continue to operate under that way. The greatest existential threat to the future of this country is our national debt. And as somebody that has babies at the house, we have skin in the game. Yes. And at the end of the day, the United States Senate is not a retirement community. And so the fact that we are trending in the right direction regarding Article 5, it's going to be a Herculean lift. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes. It's a tough lift to get there, but the principles of it are exactly what's needed in order to get our country back to rein in spending and figure out how do we preserve this constitutional republic, because that's what this is. This is not a democracy. People actually forget about that. And so those tenets are what we need to continue to push for and fight for if we're going to have an America for the future.
And I totally agree. And that's why one of my big things is helping people understand the Constitution.